To find the sum of an arithmetic sequence, we have two different sum formulas, depending on what information is given to us. Our first sum formula is going to take n over 2 times, in brackets, 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So if I know the number of terms, my first term, and my common difference, I can use this formula. Or the other one that we're more familiar with is n times the quantity of the first term plus the last term all over 2. So in this one, if I know my first and my last and how many terms I have, I can use this formula. So let's take a look at number 4 and see how we can do it both ways. We want to find the sum of these series 10 plus 13 plus 16 plus 19 all the way out to 157. I don't know how many numbers are in this list, but I do know that 157 is the last number in my list. So I can plug it into the formula for a sub n to figure out what my n is for 157. So I know that 157 is the nth term. That's going to be equal to, my first term is 10, plus n minus 1 times my common difference is a positive 3. So now I can solve this equation for n, and I get that my n is 50, which tells me that there are 50 numbers in this list. Now that I know my n, I can use either sum formula. If I want to use the first one, I'm going to take n over 2, so 50 over 2, times 2 times my first term, plus n minus 1 times my common difference of 3. So I can plug my n of 50 in, and I can simplify this down, and I get 4,175. Or I could have also used the second formula, and I can take my n times first plus last divided by 2. If I take a look at my last sum problem, for question number 5 here, it says that in a theater there are 12 seats in the first row, and then 2 more in each row after that. If there are 40 rows in the theater, how many seats are in the theater? So I want to take the number of seats in the first row, second row, third row, all the way up to the 40th row. My sum formula is S sub 40, I want the sum of the first 40 rows, is equal to, I'm going to take my n over 2 times 2 times the first number in my list plus n minus 1 times my common difference. I chose to use the first formula on this one because I didn't want to figure out how many seats were in the last row. I had all the information for the first formula, so it's easier for me to use the first formula. You could have also used the second formula, but in order to use that second formula, you would have to figure out how many numbers were in the last row. So you would have to find a sub 40.